All right, chapter 2 review. Click on the pin on my screen of what I'm showing you so that you know what you're doing, huh? Write the statement in if-then form. Independence Day in the United States is July 4th. Well, if I wanted to turn this into an if-then form without looking at my four options, it would be if it is Independence Day in the United States, then it would be July 4th. So if it is Independence Day, then it is true. If it is Independence Day, then it is July 4th. What about the United States? I don't agree with that. They're skipping one big thing. Hey, gang. Sup? Oh! Hey, dudes. Sup? Oh! Use the following statements to write a compound statement for the conjunctions or disjunctions. Just a reminder. This guy, I almost put an A there because this guy refers to the phrase and. So that's how I remember it, because it looks like the beginnings of a capital A, and as some of you may or may not have seen, I almost turned it into an A. So when you see the capital A without the line, that means and. If you see the upside down A or the U looking thing or the V looking thing, that means or. Okay? Conjunction, disjunction. Conjunction, disjunction. Use the following statements to write a compound statement for the conjunction or disjunction. So we're given P, Q, R, S. And it's giving us all of these because I got this from a problem where it asks you several of these problems. And so it gives you all of these options that you get to choose from. Well, I want S or P. What's S? A decagon has 12 sides. Or an isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides. A decagon has 12 sides or that. So a decagon has 12. Okay. Well, it's not that because that's an and that's an and. So that takes care of those two. These guys are a decagon has 12 congruent sides or 12 sides, or an isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides. If it's an or statement, I only need one of these things to be true. So is S true? A decagon has 12 sides? Yeah, that's a true statement. P. An isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides, which is also true. So both of these are true. So if I say, my name is Mr. Perich, or I am 37 years old, I just quoted 2 things, and so you would be like, yes, correct. So since it's true, that's fine. But if I were to say, my name is Mr. Perich, or I'm 27, you would be like, okay, well, one of them is right, but since you said or, technically since you said or, only one of them has to be right. So if you're looking for a truth value, if it's an or, only one of those things has to be true. If it's an and, both of them have to be true. And my classic example is, I'm ordering pizza, and Pizza Man asked what I want. And I said, sausage or pepperoni. And if they bring me sausage, that's fine because I said sausage or pepperoni. If they bring me pepperoni, that's fine because I said sausage or pepperoni. If they bring me both, that's an added bonus. If he says, if I say sausage and pepperoni and they only bring me the one or the other, that's wrong. That's not what I ordered. Pizza Man need to do a better job, baby. Look, I'm like one of those videos where I'm just going to take away a paper because I'm talking about life situations. Remember those videos? Very relevant. Mailman, yeah. Not there yet, though. Given the following information, determine which lines, if any, are parallel. State the postulate or theorem that justifies your answer. So I need to look at 11 and see if that's congruent to 2. So here's 11, and here's 2. So this is how I see it. How can I compare 11 to 2? Well, if 11 and 2 are going to be congruent, that means these two guys have to be parallel. This guy and this guy. Why those two? Because they're the insides of these two lines. So they're interior angles. More so, they're alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles because they're on the opposite side of this transversal right there. And they're both inside the green lines that I just drew. So according to this, if 11 is congruent to 2, then C and D have to be the ones that are parallel, which eliminates U and eliminates U. And it's because these guys are alternate interior angles, which leaves A as my one and only answer. Aight. All right, so inverse, converse, counter, or contrapositive. Let's remind us what those are. There's a pen and paper video, but this would be called a conditional statement. That's the regular conditional statement. Okay, conditional statement. If P, then Q. Okay, if all shapes are quadrilaterals, then they are four sides. If I were to switch it, that would be the converse. If I were to take the original and negate each part, which means, say, throw the word not in front of it. So if not P, then not Q, that's the inverse. The contrapositive is if you take the original and not only flip the letters, but negate both letters. What am I doing? P? That's the contrapositive. Now, this is a review, so I'm taking my time going through these and just making sure we understand every part of it. Okay? All right. My job is to find the inverse. Okay, so I'm doing this guy. I'm throwing knots in front of everything. So if all quadrilaterals would be my P and four-sided would be my Q, then the the inverse rather is going to have me throw knots in front of quadrilaterals and then not in front of the four-sided figure, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I need to say no quadrilaterals are not four-sided figures. And it looks like A had promise, but they didn't have the knot in front of the four. So it would have to be C. No quadrilaterals are not four-sided figures. It's a double negative. But you guys listen to rap music all the time, and they're like, hey, don't not shoot up that man, you know? Rap music. Yes. Ow, that was my broken finger. Ooh, look at that rectangular prism. Rectangular prism. Refer to the segment below. Name all segments parallel to AB. All right, so AB is, and tis the season, almost Christmas. This would be like a box that you're going to put a Christmas present in, and AB is the top left side. So all of the lines parallel to that would be... I did not say that. Did I really? Oh boy. I don't think I said that. Did I really? I said lines, not curves. So I have there's no way I said that. I said look at those curves. Oh, okay. Sorry. For those of you, for the one day that I make it big on YouTube, apparently I said the phrase, look at those curves, and I don't remember that. I'll never make it on YouTube. What am I kidding? All right, AB is parallel to CD because those guys are obviously parallel to each other. Also with FG or GF for those of you who are dating a girl, which would be none of you. And IH, or is that a J? I think that's an I. So let me see. See, I need the ones with CD, FG, and high. Hi, that's you. We could see why they're parallel because they all appear to have the same slope when drawn out. They all appear to be going up and to the right because it's a 3D figure and blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I do not say blah, blah, blah. Hotel Transylvania. Question so far. No one's going to mute themselves. I don't even know why X. All right. I'm purposely not going to show. Oh, there is no multiple choice. Oh, all is well then. Never mind. Never mindsies. In the figure, AB is parallel to CD. Find X and Y. All right. So when we're given parallel lines, I will happily give you compensation, Keon, in the form of friendship. If these guys are parallel, okay, this is what you're looking at. What I've been saying with parallel lines is if angles look the same, then they are the same. 40 is an acute angle. Look at X. That's also an acute angle. Actually, I can't do it that way. Oh, I changed my mind. You ready to have your mind blown? This is a different problem. We've never done this yet. This whole John right here, this whole John, guys, is a triangle. And what I know about these Johns is that all triangles add up to 180 degrees. So see what I just did? I just turned that triangle into a green triangle, which means that angle right there plus 90 degrees plus that angle makes up a triangle. So the way I can find out X is I can say 40 degrees, that angle up there, plus 90 degrees, that angle right there, plus X equals 180, which means 130 plus X equals 180. And if I subtract 130 from both sides, I get 50. So X is 50. Maybe showing a bit too much work, but, you know, who cares? We're overachievers. That's why we're in geometry so early at a young age. How do I find Y? Well, these two are parallel. This chunk is on the inside of two parallel lines, which means these guys right here are corresponding interior angles, which means these guys add up to 180. So X plus Y minus 8, let me write that down, X plus Y minus 8 equals 180. Oh, Mr. Perich, Mr. Perich. Yes, student? Didn't you just say that X is 50? Oh, yeah, I did. So why don't we replace X with 50? By the way, I'm going to just take a stretch, and whoever wants to type out what Y will be in the chat, I will be extremely pleased. Oh, I'm just going to stretch just a little bit, stretching myself. I think that sounds good, Athena. I think that sounds good. If I combine these two, I get 42, combining like terms. Subtract 42 from both sides. And you do get 138, you say? Looking good, looking good. Tricky problem. Oh, I like it, though. Ah, so much fun. Fun fact, my name is Nick, and I have a brother named John. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, John, you mean the slang word for anything and everything? No, that's not what I mean. John is an actual word for a name, not John like, hey, you, look at that John over there. Look at that John on top of a car seen on Facebook yesterday. John and Nick marked the location, marked the location of their respective offices on a map. John marked the point negative 1586, and Nick marked the point 25208. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models the line between the offices of John and Mark. Wow, these are great numbers. Good job stealing these problems from the book. Well, if I'm going to do slope-intercept form, then what I need is I need something that looks like this. And so what I need to do is I need to find my slope first and foremost. So I'm going to label you x sub 1, y sub 1. I'm going to label you x sub 2, y sub 2. And my slope is found by doing m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Y sub 2 is 206 minus y sub 1 is 86. X sub 2 is 25 minus x sub 1 is negative 15. Ooh, a double negative. So let's turn that double negative down there into a positive. I believe that's 120. And that's 40. Wow, these numbers ended up just lovely. 120 over 40 is 3. So what I have so far, I have y equals 3x plus b. What I don't have is a b. Okay. What I can do is I can take any of these points, and I'll take this point right here because this point seems to be just a teensy bit more pleasant. And I'll relabel it x and y, and then plug 25 in for x here and 206 into y here, and that'll allow me to get b. Now, if I do that, I get, and I'll write it down here, I get 206 is y equals 3 times 25 plus b. 206 equals 75 plus b. Subtract 75. Subtract 75. And what is that? 131. So if b is 131 and y equals 3x plus b, then I can do y equals 3x plus 131. That's my answer. Now, if you're like, sir, there's got to be another way. There is. You can use that NCTM line of best fit website that I've been giving you guys all year long. Well, not all year long, maybe for like the last month or so. So let me pull that up on my phone. Okay. The phone version isn't really as reliable and as nice as using it actually on the website, but like on a desktop or on a Chromebook or whatever. But it'll do. I mean, it'll certainly do. Let me type in the one point that I have, negative 15. Ooh, I hope Bay doesn't text me. Negative 15, 86, add point. Nope. The other one was 25, 206. Yeah, Bay. When I said Bay, I meant San Francisco. What am I doing? 206. Add point. Look at them, Johns. Show the line of best fit, and it appears that I did not make a mistake. So y equals 3x plus 131. Y equals 3x plus 131. God is good. God is good. And we're moving, 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 and we're moving. Nathan, hello, Nathan, has a rectangular sheet of paper. Well, don't we all? He cut the sheet along the marked line, find the measure of P. All right, well, last time I checked, if you have a piece of paper, the sides are going to be parallel. These angles live inside the parallel lines. These angles are on the same side of what this line would be, the cut would be, and that cut would be the transversal, which means these are corresponding interior angles, which mean they add up to 180. Minus 121, minus 121, P equals 59. So 59 degrees. Pretty simple. A lot of times with these parallel line problems, they're either going to be the same or they add up to 180 degrees. And so far that really hasn't changed. Determine whether statements 3 follows from statement 1 and 2 by the law of detachment. If it does not, write invalid. Okay, if 2 angles are supplementary, then the sum of their measures is 180. Angle A and B are supplementary. Okay, so what the law of detachment does is it says if A then B, then B then C. Okay, if 2 angles are supplementary, the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. A and B are supplementary, which means the sum of A and B are 180 degrees. That's a true statement. So it seems kind of dumb, and it kind of is. I'm not a big law of detachment head. You know, some bulls be out there talking about law of detachment all the time. That's not me. But basically, if 1 and 2 are claims that people make or are information given to you, and 3 follows from that, then it follows the law of detachment. All right. So if you were to say your geometry teacher, or if you have a geometry teacher, then he knows math. Mr. Perich is your geometry teacher. Well, then Mr. Perich knows math. It's just, not a big fan of it. But if I put it in here, you could very well see it on the test. Given that A is parallel to B, the measure of angle 3, hold on. How do I know what 3 and what 5 are? I wonder if when I copied and pasted this, I forgot a picture. I must have. Is that from a previous problem? All right, well, I'll tell you what. I must have forgotten a picture, so let's just have fun. Let's let that be A. Let's let that be B. Let's let that be a transversal. A and B are parallel. Let's call you 3 and let's call you 5. All right. I must have, when I took this, and I took this from the book that we're using, I must have forgotten the picture. So I'm just adding this picture right here. Unless it's on the next page. Nope. So I'm just making it up. Okay? Just making it up. Making the picture up. So I look at that. I look at the fact that A and B are parallel, as it says right there. And I have 3 and 5. what I said a couple minutes ago is when you're dealing with parallel lines, they're usually, and by usually like 99% of the time, either going to be equal to each other or they add up to 180 degrees. What I have with 3 and 5 is they are on the outside of my parallel lines, so they're exterior. So those are my parallel lines. Those guys live on the outside of them. And since they're on opposite sides of the transversal, which I'll call T for funsies, they're alternate exterior angles. So alternate exterior angles are equal to each other. So we'll set these two equal to each other. 5x plus 10 equals 3x plus 10. Some of you might know the answer right away. And if that's the case, then great. But I'll give you like 30 seconds to get a jump start. See if you can put in the chat what x would be. And time is up. Let's see. I don't know if that was 30 seconds, but let's subtract 3x from both sides. Cross you out. 2x plus 10 equals 10. Any answers yet? Santi, good. Subtract 10, cross you out. 2x is equal to 0. Divide by 2, x is equal to 0. So the picture that I created is not accurate. Not accurate at all. But like I said, they're either going to add up to 180, and maybe that's probably what I was supposed to do here. But again, I just totally forgot the picture. So this is the picture that I decided to make. And what are you going to do? Fight me? You can't. You don't even live in the same town that I'm in right now.